Another full 360. Every time your vehicle standing dead still, before it moves, you got to complete your full 360 before releasing the handbrake. Once that's completed, you release the handbrake, watching your rear view mirror, guiding the vehicle in, take the vehicle far as possible back, but do not hit the back poles. Otherwise, that's a fail. Once you moved enough back and you find that you have enough space to get the vehicle out, you hit the brake, handbrake up, neutral. Now you're going to take the vehicle out, so it works. Mirror, blind spot, indicate. Select first gear, clutch control, a full 360 from the left to the right, release the handbrake and lock the wheel, and you take the vehicle out of your parallel parking. Now we're going to do our parallel to the left. Your observations works as follows. Mirror, blind spot to the left, indicate. Clutch down, select your reverse gear, clutch control, then a full 360 from right to left, blind spot, mirror, 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 blind spot. Keep looking back at your marker, the first pole. And it's in line with your back wheel, the small window. It's also in line with that. You do your cross check and you lock the wheel immediately. Now you go to the right mirror. This is parallel to the left. You lock to the left, go to the right mirror, count your poles. 1, 2. On the third pole, you're going to straighten the wheel twice. There we go. 1 turn, 2 turns. Now you watch your license disc. The pole you locked up at first, when that's over the disc, you lock up to the right. There it is, and we lock the wheel. Now we watch our rear view mirror for the space behind and the body. Rear view mirror and the body. Rear view mirror and the body. I've got space, I use it. The middle pole in the middle, I hit the brake. Handbrake up, neutral. We're going to take it out. Your observations works as follows. Mirror, blind spot to the right, indicate. Select your first gear, clutch control. Full 360 from left to right. Blind spot, mirror, 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 blind spot. Release the handbrake, move slow. The corner of the fender, left fender is just past the pole. I'll straighten it twice. It's 1 turn, 2 turns. Now with my shoulders in line with the pole, I will lock. I lock the wheel. Now watch the body of the car. The body straight, 2 turns. 1, 2. Bringing it out in this method is, if your vehicle is not in and you want to use your second chance, that's the way you can bring it out. Now that we've completed our alley docking left and right, our parallel parking to the left and right, now we're going to do the exercise. It's called a 3-point turn, which is called the turn in the right. You've got 3 movements. The first movement, after the observations, the vehicle moves, you lock it up to the right. Before the curb, you're going to straighten the wheel twice. You hit the brake, handbrake up, neutral. Then you got your second movement. After your observations, you select reverse gear, you got your contact, you release the handbrake, you lock the wheel up to the left, watching your right mirror. As the vehicle moves back, do not mount the curb or hit the curb. You steal enough ground, you straighten the wheels, handbrake up, neutral. If you do not straighten your wheels on the 3-point turn, which means you haven't counter steered, it's a penalty point on each movement that you did not counter steer. Your last movement and final movement after the observations, you release the handbrake. Your vehicle has to be on the opposite side of the road facing down. Basically, you've hit a dead end. Now you need to get the vehicle out. It's called a turn in the road. Now we're going to start with our first movement in the 3-point turn, which is called the turn in the road. Observations works as follows. Mirror, blind spot to the right, indicate. Put the clutch down, select your first gear, get clutch control. Before moving, you must do the full 360 observation. Blind spot, mirror, 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 blind spot. You release the handbrake, you move slow. You steal a little bit of ground forward, and then you lock the wheel to the right. Steal enough ground towards the curb, straighten twice, and you hit the brake. You lift the handbrake up, you go to neutral. Now you're going to do your second movement. Mirror, blind spot to the left, indicate. Clutch down, reverse gear. Clutch control, now a full 360 observation from right to left. Blind spot, mirror, 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 blind spot. Release the handbrake, move slow. You lock the wheel immediately, watching your right mirror. This is your second movement. Still enough ground going back. Do not hit the curb. Straighten the wheel twice. Counter steer, you hit the brake. Handbrake up, neutral. Now you got your third and final movement. Mirror, blind spot to the right, indicate. First gear. Clutch control. Full 360 from the left to the right. Blind spot, mirror, 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 blind spot. Release the handbrake. Observe the broken line. When that's in line with the mirror, you lock the wheel to the right. Its movements must be done in the block. As you watch the body, when that's straight, it's one turn, two turns. You hit the brake. Handbrake up, neutral. On the incline, put the clutch down, select your first gear. You come slowly up with the clutch till you feel contact. The vehicle will give a bit of a shudder. There you keep it. You squeeze on the accelerator. A little bit more up with the clutch till you feel that contact. Keep it there. You release the handbrake and the vehicle will move. Okay, now we've completed a 3-point turn. Bear in mind, on your 3-point turn, the vehicle going forward, you roll back, it's a fail. Going back, roll forward, it's a fail. Once you've completed the third movement facing down and the wheels are facing on the broken line, which means you turn on the opposite side of the road, it's a fail. Now we're going to go off to do the road test. We're going to do some hand signals and emergency stop. Now that we've completed the yard test, the examiner is going to climb in with the vehicle, in the vehicle with us, and he's going to ask you to switch the vehicle off, and he's going to ask you for a starting procedure. You'll also note that during the yard test, I was not wearing a seatbelt. It is not necessary to wear your seatbelt in the yard test. When you go to the road and you're going to do your road test, a starting procedure comes in, and that is where your seatbelt comes in, and that will get put on. Now we're going to do the starting procedure for the road test. Remember, going to the road, you need to obey all road traffic signs. All road traffic markings. Do not violate the traffic law. Your starting procedure will work as follows. Handbrake up, neutral. All doors are locked. Check the gauges in the off position. Ignition on. Check the gauges in the on position. Automatic choke. Start the engine. Check the gauges with the engine idling. Fasten seat belts. Make sure all passengers know to fasten seat belts and how to open and close the doors. Clutch down, select your first gear, clutch control. Before moving off, you've got to do the moving off observation, which is the full 360. Going straight from any side. Blind spot, mirror, 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 blind spot. It's safe, you release the handbrake. All vehicle entrances to be checked, such as mirror, vehicle entrance. Now the examiner will ask you to give a hand signal to left, works mirror, blind spot, left signal, blind spot to the right. Hand goes out, 4, 5, hand back in, mirror before the brake. Your hand stays on the wheel till the vehicle stops. You're penalized if it comes off while it's still moving. Handbrake up, straight to first gear. Clutch control. You're going to the left, start the 360 from right to left. Blind spot, mirror, 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 blind spot. Release the handbrake, check the blind spot to the left before you turn. Mirror, vehicle entrance. Mirror, intersection. Mirror, vehicle entrance. We're going to the left at the intersection. Mirror, blind spot to the left, indicate, blind spot, come over. Mirror, brake. If your indicator cancels, just flick it back on again. Once you've stopped, handbrake up, straight to first gear at a stop street. Now you're going to implement your full 360 observation. Blind spot, mirror, 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 blind spot. You release the handbrake and move slow. Check the blind spot to the left before the turn. Mirror, brake. If you can't, once you've stopped, again, handbrake up. The handbrake will save you from a roll. The road's uneven. And you do not enter an intersection if it's unsafe to do so. Vehicles are too close within the intersection. Now you do a full 360 from right to left. Blind spot, mirror, 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 blind spot. Release the handbrake, blind spot to the left, and now turn. Big intersection check, mirror, intersection. When I say to you, we're going to attempt an emergency stop. I want you to pick your speed up between 30 and 35. When I hit the dashboard, you will then do the emergency stop. On the emergency stop, if your wheels lock and skid, you get a second chance. If that does that again, it's a fail. He'll ask you if you're ready, you say yes, it's mirror, blind spot to the right. Indicate, you select your first gear. You get clutch control, then you do a full 360 observation from the left to the right. Blind spot, mirror, mirror, blind spot. You release the handbrake, you stay in first gear. You check your blind spot again, you cancel the indicator. You pick a little bit of speed up, you change to second gear, you stay in second gear. You then pick the speed up. When he hits the dashboard, you clutch and brake immediately. You lift the handbrake up, you go to first gear, clutch control, you do a full 360 observation, and off you go. I hope you have enjoyed this DVD and learned from it. Once you have passed and obtained your driver's license, you must not change your attitude towards safe driving. Obey road traffic signs and road traffic markings. Respect all road users of the public road. The road is no playground, no racing track. So many lives get taken out daily, especially motorcycles, by not checking your blind spot. I'm on the road 24/7, and the scary things I see. I fully support the Minister of Transport with the K53. 10 out of 10 or 100 out of 100. Check your blind spot before turning. That can save lives. I'm John Barnard from Instruct You Drive. Thank you. I support the Minister of Transport 100% regarding the K53. Good attitude and buckle up. Remember, once you have obtained your driver's license, it is a privilege, not a right.